And welcome to the Recrutes.ca pregame show. I'm your temporary host, Blain Potvin, and I'm joined by Recrutes.ca founder and editor, Grant McCagg. Good evening, Grant.
Hey, Blaine. Glad to have you on board for this guest shot. You better be good because it could be permanent.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. The pressure's
I'm
on.
just warning you.
Hey, I'm looking at retirement here soon from the forces, so any new job is a good job.
Yeah, well, you never know. We could
You
be
never know.
just the new Don and Ron.
Could be better than the odd couple, I guess. So as we record, the Canadians are going to be playing the Toronto Maple Leafs tonight. It's going to be the first game for the Canadians in a week, and it's a reverse retro night. So uh, hopefully they can break that curse. So they,
Yeah. I've been wanting to pimp my reverse retro Suzuki jersey that we're giving away to new subscribers, but been kind of keeping it mellow with that a little bit because they haven't won one yet. But hopefully tonight, that changes, and then we can do a big spree, try to get people to subscribe and to try to win that jersey.
well, it could be that the way to break the curse is to have enough people subscribe, and we can give it away. Maybe the Canadians are holding out on us until it happens.
A real reverse retro, yeah. I hadn't
Yeah.
thought of that.
So for tonight's game, the first question I'm going to ask you, it's going to be about Tatar. So Thomas Tatar sat out the last game against the Leafs that the Canadians came back and won. Now he's back in the lineup and he's on the third line. So why don't you give us your point of view on Tatar and what you feel is going to happen tonight?
Well, he's had a week to think about it. I think there was a little bit of method to that madness. Let him sit and stew for a week, come back, and I think he'll be raring to go. I wouldn't doubt it if you saw a goal from Tatar tonight. Um,
Yeah.
he seems to be streaky in that way, and he gets on a hot streak and he'll score a few in a few games. I I I think him and KK could get some chemistry there. I'm looking forward to seeing just how that works. He's got a little more speed than Toffoli. KK a lot of times has been entering the zone and kind of by himself because the other guys are behind him, or he passes it to Armia and the play dies more often than not. So it might be a nice combo there. I'm thinking that those two might click. What do you think?
Well, I do think that the controlled zone entries that Kotaniemi provides would really benefit Tatar. He likes to sweep in as the F2 on most occasions and kind of just crash towards the net on an off angle. And if Kotaniemi can work on that backhand saucer pass that he's been just a little bit off with his timing, I think Tatar would be able to snag a couple of really good scoring opportunities pretty early in the game.
Yeah, well, KK hasn't played most of his career so far. He hasn't really played with goal scorers. Um, to Foley being obviously an exception, but I don't know that like I say, the speed difference, like they don't seem to be going into the zone at the same time and stuff. So yeah, that's a good point by you, and I think this combo might work, and hopefully they get a few games because KK's had a heck of a lot of different line mates through the last 3 years, and it seems like it's always changing up. If it's not, you know, it was Lehkonen and Armia a lot, but those two guys aren't goal scorers. So this combo might work, and I'm hoping it does.
I also think that where Tatar is with Kotaniemi on that third line, they're the home team, so they're going to Julian's going to be doing a lot of line matching, so they're going to be going up against third line, fourth line players. So this might be a good way for Tatar and Kotaniemi to kick in on the offensive side because they're going to be outmatching the third and fourth line of the Leafs offensively.
Who's this Kotaniemi guy that you keep talking about? Um, you mean Kotaniemi? That guy?
Kotaniemi,
Okay.
yeah.
KK. You're
Yeah, I'll
making
go
a
with
KT.
KK.
You're making a KT there or something. Anyway, yeah, the extra K, man, special K. All right. Just wanted to, doing a little personal editing there.
Fair, fair. I'm normally the one that does it on my own show.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
just so used to hearing it.
Yeah.
So with Tatar on that third line, that means Toffoli has moved up to the second, and we saw that in that last game last week against Toronto. The Danault line started off pretty slow with an early mistake, but they brought it on pretty heavily by the third.
Yeah, that's another combo that I'm hoping will find some chemistry. Um, we already know that Danault and Gallagher, of course, have played together for 3 years, but um, I sort of like the idea of Danault with Toffoli. Um, Danault's not a really creative player, but he he drives and he gets to the outside, throws a lot of passes into the slot, and Toffoli's so smart. He can convert a lot of you get him the puck and he can convert. And I'm not sure that it was necessarily happening with KK as often as we'd hoped. So maybe with Danault, they find that maybe no better way of breaking a slump than to put him with one of the top goal scorers so far, in the NHL this year. So yeah, I think that might be a good combo. Certainly, Toffoli has shown that he's very good defensively too, and I think he's been playing better defensively than Tatar this year. So that's another key, that if they're up against the Matthews line, for instance, and Toffoli's pretty strong on the defensive end of the puck because he's just so smart, that maybe they can hold, even if it's a Tavares line, either line. They're scoring lines, and hopefully with Toffoli on that line, it's even stronger defensively, and they can hold a high scoring. Matthews is crazy hot, top goal scorer in the league, so they can keep him in check and stop Justin Hull from scoring again. Hopefully they can eke out another victory.
Yeah, I think that line matchup, the Danault line, how it matches up against the top line for Toronto, I think that's going to be a key in this game. Danault he's been taking a lot of heat for his lack of offensive ability this year. He hasn't put up a ton of points, but he has been playing fairly strong defensively. So
Oh
as
yeah, he
long
always
as he can
does.
keep him
Yeah.
off the board, I think he's done his job.
Yeah, I mean that's his forte, right? That's
Yeah.
why he was top 6 in Selke trophy voting last year. And yeah, I mean that's his bread and butter. The points are a bonus to a certain degree, but you want a guy that's playing 18 minutes a game. You want him
Yeah.
to at least provide a half point a game, anyways. And he hadn't been doing that.
Yeah, and I believe you're right. I believe Toffoli, his his improved shot over Tatar, because he is a better shooter. I think that's going to
Yeah.
be a way to get some more offensive flair on that line.
Yeah, and maybe like how many goals does Gallagher get with rebounds and get in front of the net and stuff, and hopefully he can get some garbage of off of Toffoli's good shots, because the either they're going in the net a lot of times or there's rebounds with Toffoli shots. So that I hadn't thought of that either, but maybe that's good for Gallagher too. He can get some more rebound goals. That's his type of goals. So
Yeah. And I found that Toffoli is able to create some shooting lanes for the defenseman. He's able to make some space, get the pucks back to the point, and the pointman can take shots, just like Gallagher's second goal, the goal in against Toronto, the winning goal.
yeah, Toffoli is such a smart player.
Yeah.
You really come to appreciate him. I watched him a lot in junior, being in Ottawa and him being a 67. And even then, like I had him top 20 in his draft year and he ended up going in the second round. It was funny. I was scouting with the Habs at the time, and both Trevor and I liked him a lot. Um, and there was a bit of a need, they thought at the time, for a big defenseman, and they went the other route with Tenori, I believe, that year. But um, certainly he was a second choice for both of us if Tenori hadn't been on the board. So better late than never to get him, I guess.
Well, hey, we got him now, and we've got him at a pretty good rate for what they signed him for. So that's a bonus. Much better than the $8 million that people wanted to spend on Hall.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I was a little torn on Hall. You just don't know. You didn't know if he would. But again, with a different team, who knows? Maybe I imagine he'd have had more points playing with the Habs, but definitely, sometimes what you wish happens, and when it doesn't happen, it's actually the best scenario. So definitely, don't uh, don't feel bad about not signing Hall now. That's for sure.
No, when the guy you signed instead is near the top, he's close to a Rocker Richard lead. Yeah, you're pretty happy with what you have.
Definitely.
Now, the other lineup change would be Paul Byron's in the lineup for this game. Um, he cleared waivers this week, and there was some fans thought that possibly he could have been picked up, but with a contract like his, the chances were pretty slim. However, for tonight's game, you can assume that Julian's looking for him to play his regular penalty killing role with and add some speed to the lineup. However, recently that's not been the case.
Well, he seems to have lost a step. I don't. Uh, he used to get a breakaway or two. It seemed like every game, and now I can count on one hand the amount of breakaways he's had since his concussion, and that's over 2 years. So um, that was such an important part of his game, and it seems like he's lost a half a step, in my estimation. Um, I think Frolik would have been in the lineup tonight if he'd have played better in Laval, but he was just okay.
Yeah.
He, I think that was the original plan, was hopefully Frolik would show that he's ready, but I would have personally have taken somebody else, but I guess that complicated things the way. I don't know all the ramifications of, the taxi squad and all of that, but I assume that the easy thing was to call him back up to the taxi squad instead of bringing someone up who maybe would have to go back through waivers again. I don't know, but Byron's back in. That doesn't excite me, but just like Tatar, maybe the wake up call, as they say, uh, gets him going, and he can. It'd be nice if he scored a goal. I'd love it, and then I'd say, oh, like I said, he's great. Glad he's in the lineup.
I'd be happy if he's able to just play that fourth line role and fill in some time on the penalty kill, even if he got a breakaway on a penalty kill and missed any,
Oh,
just to show a little bit of what he's been doing the last couple of years up until this season. Anyway, that
yeah,
would be
I'd love to see a breakaway from the old Byron.
yeah.
It used to be like you missed him when he wasn't in the lineup. That speed, that ability to get that breakaway and score the big goal, he did it a lot, and it's the reason why he's been wearing an A. Character guy, come up with big goals, heart, um, but just he's not a creative player. He doesn't have a hard shot. If he's not getting those breakaways and those chances using his speed, he's not a huge guy, so he doesn't run over people. Um, it, I hope that they find someone else if he doesn't play better that can better fill a fourth line role. I think.
Well, like you mentioned earlier, the hope was that when they signed him, that Frolik would be a guy that they can bring in and play that role. So far, Perry's been the only one to show that he could actually step in the lineup and play the way they were hoping. So maybe another conditioning stint for one of those two could help. I doubt it, but we could always hope.
Yeah.
The final roster spot that people were wondering about today was Victor Mete. Would he be back in the lineup? And it's been confirmed that he will be in the lineup and playing on the third pair with Romanov. So Romanov, my apologies. So those two together were actually one of the better pairings in the last game against the Leafs. So hopefully a week off gives them a little bit more speed and legs. So what's your take on that pairing?
Yeah, I think they're looking for a good transition game, getting the puck out of the zone by carrying it, with Byron in as well. I think they want to. I think they want to play a fast-paced game tonight, and forecheck hard, get in. Get in on the forecheck and protect that pairing, because I don't know that you want a lot of zone time with those two. But they'll be out probably in the third a lot of times with KK's line, and as you said earlier, maybe they can outplay Toronto's third, fourth line. I think they have better depth, the Habs, so a lot of offensive zone time with those guys, and Mete and Romanov can create some stuff with their speed if the puck's on the Toronto side of center for most of the game. So here's hoping that I think Mete can create more than Kulak offensively, even if though he's not necessarily an offensive player, he's faster, and he has shown some glimpses of it, and certainly in junior, he was an offensive player to a certain degree. So with his speed, I hope that they're thinking maybe that pairing can actually help contribute to a goal or two with a mismatch with KK's line.
That would be helpful. Mete has shown that he is very good at zone exits and zone entries, so that
Yes,
could be their hope in this line matchup where Romanov and Mete can actually create on the transition, like you mentioned, and with a little bit added speed on the third line with Tatar there, maybe that helps.
exactly. That's what I'm thinking, and that's hopefully what the coaching staff is thinking too.
There's I'm doing a lot of praying myself.
Yeah.
The the Leafs have been on a bit of a roll, and but they've played Ottawa all week, so they lost that they lost that game. They gave up that big lead, but they came back in the last game and just destroyed Ottawa 7-3. So perhaps they're going to come into this game a little bit too high, and the Canadians can swoop in and take advantage. And that's kind of what I'm hoping on this game.
Yeah, well, I've learned one thing: you don't predict Toronto Montreal games.
Nope.
Uh, the only thing that I know for sure is that it's likely going to be a one-goal game at some point in the third period, and whether it ends up one-goal game by the end, I don't know. But it seems like at some point every third period, the teams are within a goal or tied just about every game. One team can start off with a 3-0 lead, and still by the midway point of the third period, it's either tied or within a goal. So I'm expecting an exciting, close match. That's the only prediction I'm going to make.
Well, it's Saturday night, and Carey Price is starting the game, so I'm going to predict Carey Price makes this one hell of a game to watch tonight.
We can only hope.
I'm doing a lot of hoping. It's been a week off, so they're I'm hoping that doesn't hinder them, especially at the start. So before we sign off, was there anything you wanted to tell the listeners?
I'm just glad this is over. Cut.